I feel like there are two versions of me. There's this spontaneous shy that has the ideas and gets really excited, and my eyes shine. And yeah, I think, well, this is a great idea. I should do it. And then there's this inner voice that just kind of tears myself apart. I'm so self-conscious. Hi, I am shy.
Papa, who this woman?
You obviously don't know me. I obviously don't know you. So why am I here? I basically decided to create this channel as a way or as a vehicle to share some positive experiences or some lessons learned in the hopes that I will change someone's life for the better. But there's a major problem. I am not a natural communicator. I am very shy, as you may be able to tell. And I just realized, I put into words that I am my biggest hater. And how am I my biggest hater? I am my biggest hater in a way that I just keep self sabotaging. For example, I decided to create this channel, and as part of my first 3 videos that ended up being 4, I documented or narrated my body transformation journey. I'm on a journey of self improvement. I started it last year, or I decided to start it last year. I believe on the continuous self improvement, and it's something that, in my opinion, we all should chase. But I started with the body transformation, even though this journey has been beyond my physical transformation. But that's where I started from. And as I said, I'm a very shy person. I'm not a natural communicator. I gathered the courage to film my first video. Um, I consider myself very simple. I don't understand much about makeup. I don't understand much about audio, basic stuff for anyone who does YouTube, right? Of course, I did research. I ended up buying this microphone because the audio of my first few videos is really bad. But I edited my first video, got done with that, edited my second video, got done with that. And when I finished editing my second one and went back to watch the first one, I just hated it, even though when I first finished editing it, I liked it and I liked the message. But when I watched it yesterday, I started to pinpoint a lot of flaws, like my eyebrows, the way that they look, what I was dressing, the lighting in my face, um, how my hair looks. I mean, yeah, I cannot keep doing this to myself. So yeah. Any tips from anyone? I feel like because we live in a world where we are exposed to so much content, and it's content that's very how do I say, curated, if that's the right word. It's content that's very well produced, and like people are, the average people these days are is a natural poser, right? Especially younger people. I'm in my 30s, so I get really how do I say, admired in a good way, and sometimes in a bad, but maybe we'll get into that. But the generation that's in their early 20s or teenagers, they take really great pictures, and they know a lot about lighting and camera position, etc. If you look at the Instagram of someone who's younger and someone my generation, or from my age group, there's a big difference. Usually, of course, there are exceptions, but this to say that we are exposed to so much well done content that, in my case, I feel like that affects my self image and my self perception. I somehow started to believe and internalize that what I had done wasn't good enough because I don't look a certain way and I don't sound a certain way. And thinking more deeply about that, that's really unacceptable because I am free to look how I want and to sound how I want, or to sound how I'm naturally made, how this is me. So I cannot negate that. I cannot villainize that just because I don't look like, or I don't sound like the majority, at least in my eyes. But that's just me being really self-critical and really unaware that what's the most important thing is the content and not the wrappings around the content, if that makes sense. We are all allowed to begin and be less than good while we're starting, and we have to allow ourselves the space to improve on whatever we're doing. As I said, I'm not a natural communicator, but I have a message that I'd like to share with the world. So I have to overcome my shortcomings in the communications field and keep practicing it, and maybe reach new levels of communications one day. But I cannot just tear my ideas and my product or my projects apart just because, as a starter, as an amateur at this, which I'll probably always be, I don't sound like the people that I admire. But I have to take into consideration that the people that I admire and the content that I consume, those people had to start somewhere. And maybe they weren't as bad as me in the beginning, but if I went back to some of the videos of the major YouTubers I follow, and to be fair, most of them had a beginning that's not so great, right? At least they don't sound, they were great still, but they don't sound the same as they do right now. So there's a way. I have to stop self-sabotaging and telling myself really mean things, and just get over it, really, and put in the world the message that I want to be out there. I feel like there are two versions of me. There's this spontaneous chai that has the ideas and gets really excited, and my eyes shine. And yeah, I think, well, this is a great idea. I should do it. And I even list all the steps for my project. And then there's this inner voice that just kind of tears myself apart. And that inner voice can be many things. In my case, it's a hater voice 90% of the time, but in other times, it's the voice of reason, because, of course, not all ideas are good. And it's natural that I challenge myself in the idea that I'm having. But looking at the many, many years, I see myself as a creative person. So I think at least once a month or maybe once a week, I have an idea. But if I look at the proportion of the number of ideas that I've had and what I've executed, the percentage is minimal. I have many ideas, so the proportion is really small. Probably less than 1% of my ideas I've made an attempt of taking them forward. I just say really mean things to myself. I just need to get out of this cycle of having the ideas and self sabotaging. And if I'm like this, I can imagine that I'm not alone in the world. So I make the pledge for myself that I will stop being as much like that, and will start hearing more my initial voice, the spontaneous me. Because whenever I have an idea, I'm really, really happy. And moments later, when I think it through, I'm the opposite, right? So I just wonder how much of an impact I would have had in the world had I perhaps fought a little harder for my ideas. I'm rambling. I didn't structure this video, but I needed to get this out, and I thought that it was important to get it out. That's it for first video. I hope this made a little bit of sense, and I guess I'll see you in the second video, which was supposed to be the first one, but I was having this meltdown and decided to make this my first video. I think I needed it for myself, and if someone needs that, I hope this helped you getting through your inner hater. Let's all survive our inner haters. Thank you for watching, and I see you next time. Bye.